Hey everybody, it is Chris Brown, your real estate professional and marketing entrepreneur. Welcome to another episode of State of the Real Estate Market with yours truly, Chris Brown. Applaud. For today's topic, actually, we're going to talk about getting approved for HUD properties. A lot of people have been asking me, hey, I know you talk about HUD properties on a regular basis. You know, there's so much going on in the real estate industry. Is it really going to be an opportunity for people to purchase a home during these times? And the answer is yes. You know, opportunity is coming. There are opportunities depending upon your market. Some markets are hotter than others. Before, when people used to experience down times or even possibly foreclosing on the property, the situation was that, they owed more on their property than what it was worth. And, if people are facing situations nowadays, it's a little bit different. And that being is that the home is probably worth more than what a lot of people owe. So there's a lot more exit strategies this go around if there are going to be any situations. But opportunities do present themselves. And the more you know, and the more you educate yourself, the more prepared, the more options you'll have when it's your chance or opportunity to make a decision. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into to the topic for today. Go ahead and share this with you. All right, how to get your HUD offer accepted in 2021. So this is assuming that most people know what HUD is. And I know there's a few people who don't know what HUD is, and that's no problem at all. And what we're going to do is actually kind of educate you guys, give you a little brief education on what HUD is. So, all right. And for those who do not know me, I've actually been involved in real estate since about 2004. That's where my journey began. Started off as a mortgage broker, dealing with a lot of investors, investment properties, property management, you name it. I've probably touched that realm of real estate. From the cold state of New York, from the city of Buffalo, that area. Attended a high school over in St. Petersburg, Florida. Actually got to check them out this past week as they won in Palmetto, Florida. They were in Palmetto, Florida. They won their football game. So that was kind of interesting. But from there, I went to a school in Michigan where it is extra cold, and played a few sports, track and football. So if you hear me reference track or even football, you'll know where that comes from. A lot of sports analogies that I typically use. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in and let's see what kind of exciting things we can learn today. So what is HUD? HUD is a housing and urban development, which is a government agency. With it being a government agency, there's a lot of regulations. There is a process whenever you are looking at homes that may be found under the HUD guideline or supervision, so to speak. And basically what it is since it is a government agency, a lot of people that have government-backed loans may find themselves, if they go into a default situation, they may find their home on this website or this with this particular resource to have their home resold. So HUD.gov, you guys can always take a look at that website. There's a number of different programs that are available through HUD.gov, and you can really educate yourself. By educating yourself, you can find out what other opportunities may present themselves that are out there if you are in the market and you are looking for a home. Because right now, with the market, the way that it's going, you need every opportunity. It's more than just looking at your traditional websites, because everybody's looking at the MLS. Everybody's looking at, your big websites, like your Zillows, your Realtor.coms. Everybody's looking at that. So once a property goes onto those websites, everybody knows about it at that point. So you need to sometimes find out where the source is. And what we're going over today, you'll find that this is a great resource to have if properties are available. So where do you find HUD homes? So the number one place I tell everyone, wherever you're looking, if you want to find a HUD home, the number one place is a website, and that is Hoodhomestore.com. And I'll take some time during this Zoominar webinar to actually go over that actual website and kind of show you guys how to find the properties that are available, because there are properties available. It just depends on if it's available in your market. So I know a lot of people that tune in to this YouTube channel, they are from all over and they're curious about their specific market. So be sure, I always provide additional information outside of this particular webinar. So be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. There should be a link at the bottom of this video. I always drop information there and allow everyone to kind of get engaged on that particular platform. So be sure to check it out. The MLS, this is another resource for HUD homes. As a listing agent, I was a listing agent. I am a listing agent for HUD. I say was just because it's been slow on that side of the business. But as a big marketing tool, I utilize the MLS. And for your other big websites that are out there, they take their information from the MLS. And that's reasons being is because a lot of people don't have access to the MLS. So when you're searching the internet and you're looking at these big websites that are, I'll say that they're pretty popular. A lot of people are aware of them. Just keep in mind that they are pulling their information from the MLS. And typically, if that information is being placed on the MLS, it's usually being placed on the MLS by a real estate professional. So keep that in mind. So other programs, and I always make mention to this, but I always encourage people to visit the HUD.gov website because there's more than just these three programs that I'm getting ready to mention here. But there's so many programs that are out there, grant opportunities that are out there that you may not even be aware of. And just because it's not typically advertised to the masses, it is a government agency, so they don't have a huge budget to continuously market that information out there. So be sure to do some investigating yourself. But three programs, nonprofit organizations and government entities. This is a program that's within the HUD. This program specifically works with nonprofit organizations and government entities. So if they have properties that are out there that need to be resold, or they're trying to work with other organizations to encourage home ownership, to encourage the brand, but just really being engaged in the community. And that's one of the big things that HUD does do. They encourage home ownership and they like to be engaged in the community. They have another program called Good Neighbor Next Door. This is typically for our heroes. And these are like our firefighters, our police officers, teachers. These are the heroes of the community. And there's different programs that encourage them to purchase within certain communities. And, if you're already working in those communities or nearby or something along those lines, there's opportunities that exist that are out there. And these opportunities do present themselves on a regular basis, especially when inventory is available. So consider that if you are a hero. And traditionally, some real estate professionals may be aware of these programs and they may not. But like I said, I always encourage you, everyone has access to the internet these days, but be sure to check out HUD.gov and research that. Good Neighbors Next Door program, share it with your real estate professional. Hopefully you are working with one, but if not, research the information for yourself. And this last program that I want to discuss in today's webinar, it's the dollar homes. And trust me, people are like, is that really true? It is true. It is such a program. But you really find out that these programs, these opportunities are really working with like the local governments. And typically when these opportunities present themselves as for a dollar home, obviously a lot of people can afford that. These properties are homes that for some reason had a challenge of being sold, And it does happen. Obviously, if you're in such what I call a seller's market where people are selling things because supply is low and demand is high, a lot of people, if it becomes available on the market, then they are willing to make any necessary repairs if that property needs any. So keep that in mind. That a lot of these properties may need some type of work being done to it, but then there's additional benefits that are out there that will help cover any type of rehab costs that may be needed. So it's all about the education and the knowledge. Like I said, I won't be able to go into all of the details of it, of the process of being able to get approved and get financing and so forth. But I will place some nuggets out there so that you guys have enough to bite off and chew a little bit and actually do some additional research. And with that being said, my next slide is in regards to renovation loans. So as I mentioned earlier, typically, if you are working with HUD is, government-backed loans. They deal with a lot of government-backed loans that went into some type of default situation. So a lot of people that are currently having some issues with getting their offers accepted in the regular market is the type of financing that they have. So it's very important to understand the type of financing that you have and what you can do with your financing. Excuse me for yawning like that. And it's important for you to know what you can do with your financing and how you can use that to leverage getting your offers accepted. So take, for instance, if you are an FHA buyer in today's market, the seller's market right now, it is extremely challenging for you, and I understand it, for you to get financing these days. So what happens is, if you're looking at a scale of 1 to 4, 4 being the lowest, 1 being first choice, FHA is probably standing at 4 out of 4. And what I mean by that is that, number one, people are picking cash right now, taking cash offers, especially if they're offering over. They're going to conventional, then they're going to VA, and then they're going to FHA. So I say in those orders right there, that's typically how offers are being looked at and viewed and even sorted when a bunch of offers are being presented for one property. But with the renovation loan, a lot of people aren't fully aware of this, but it is a little nugget. Get ready to grab your pen. If you don't have it, pick it up, because this is a good note to have. If you're already approved for a FHA loan, ideally you would also be approved for a renovation loan, a FHA renovation loan, which is also known as a 203K loan. Now, keep in mind with this type of loan, one of the fear factors that people have when they see a traditional FHA offer, they get a little skeptical about the type of inspection requirements that they're going to have on the home, which is a good thing if you're a buyer, because, if the home's not in great shape and you have FHA financing, you don't want to have to purchase a home and then 2-3 weeks later, now you have a huge, $10,000, $6,000 bill for something because the home wasn't functioning correctly. But with the renovation loan, the FHA 203K, what you could do is, if the property does need some type of repairs, you can place that into an escrow, a repair escrow, and still be able to purchase the home, even if the property does need particular repairs. And what happens is, with how the loan is formatted, is that they will offer for finance up to, I believe it's 110%, but don't quote me on that. That's why I have my mortgage partners to be able to verify that. But it's traditionally, there are programs where you'll be able to finance up to 110%. So where we're having the concerns in reference to the repairs, or if we're having concerns in reference to if the home will appraise. So you would have both of those covered, and you would still be able to be in the fight and actually ideally be up there with like a conventional or even just above a VA type of loan. Now, it does take 30 to 45 days for these type of loans to get financed, but they can be done in, say, 30 days. Just having everything lined up, working with the right people, depending upon how the process is going. So keep that in mind. If you're not aware of that, look up that type of financing, FHA 203K, buying a home in its current condition and financing and repairs. That's primarily what you're doing, buying a home in its current condition and financing and repairs, which is huge. Why do you want to do this? Expanding your home buying options. It gives you more options, properties that would not traditionally take a traditional FHA offer. Now you can be competitive with other offers that are out there. And then also another, I mentioned the FHA 203K, but also check into hard money lenders. It's another type of renovation loan. Now, with that, the requirements are a bit different from FHA, whereas maybe a hard money lender will definitely give you the money for it, but they're going to ask for a huge chunk down, and they can actually close pretty fast. A lot of the ones that I work with, they can close in like 14, 21 days at most. But they can definitely get it done. A lot of times you want to make sure the title work and everything is good to go. So anywhere between 14 and 21 days is very fast. So keep that in mind. So one of the things that, as I said earlier, I wanted to show you guys a particular website, which is the Hoodhomestore.gov website. I wanted to share with you this particular website, and we'll go ahead and get over to it. And reason being is because it has so much to offer, and just to understand how to search for a HUD home. And just in case something is available in your market, you want to make sure that you have an opportunity to get the property, So let's share this. All right, guys. I believe we are sharing. All right, so I believe we are sharing that. We should be sharing the HUD Home Store. Let me double check here. Yeah. All right, so we are sharing it. So everyone, so this is the Hoodhomestore.gov website. This is a free website. You can register, you can log in, create a profile. One of the big things that I tell people to do is, this is very similar to a bunch of the other home sites that are out there. So basically, if you are want to set up a search or some type of alert, you can do that on this website as well. So as properties become available, as properties become available, you'll be first to access this. So keep that in mind. So for today's search, and this is one of those searches where less is best. So even though you can probably filter it down to the minute number, you don't want to do that, just because a lot of times you find that if you just place the state and county, starting with that first and then narrow down from there, that'll be your best option in finding the homes that are available. So I know in the past I've done Florida, I've done Georgia. I haven't done Alabama yet. So let's see what Alabama has and see if they have anything available. So I'll do the state of Alabama, and just for purposes of this exercise, I'll just keep it broad for Alabama, okay? And for the mere fact that I don't know that many counties in Alabama. All right, so when you do a search and you just place it like we did here, we placed in Alabama, it will provide you with a list of homes. So for the state of Florida, for HUD Homes, and like I said, this is only one organization, one agency with properties that may be available that may need some repairs, but it's a different option. We have a few properties that are here, 244, 110, 121, 43,000. Looks like that's a modular home. 90,000, 116, 108. So 244. So this looks like a pretty good size home right here. Let's take a look at this one. This one says it's new for 244, listed at 244 in Alabama. All right. So with this home, when you click on it, it gives you the property. Now, keep in mind that in the state of, or HUD, any HUD property, for HUD properties, these properties are available, and they traditionally have a limit like the first 10 days, because HUD does encourage home ownership. They typically restrict the offers only to people who plan to occupy the property. And for investors and non-owner occupant buyers, they make them wait before they can submit an offer. And like I said, primary reason being is because they encourage home ownership, and they want to give people who actually plan on moving into the property, really giving the property love, upgrading it, really loving the property and actually living there. Because like I said, this is all about encouraging home ownership. So as we look at this particular home, this one is in Springville, Alabama, St. Clair County. Total room 6. There's a list of number of bedrooms. Didn't quite list the number of bedrooms on here, but I'm sure I could do what I call a back search and just kind of figure out the number of bedrooms. But this home was built in 2005. Square footage is 1710. This looks much bigger than 1710, but it is, looks like the garage is on first level, and then the home is above it. Typically, if you want to take out the pictures, you can take a look. I always encourage people to continue to do research on these type of homes that you find. And reason being is because a lot of these homes, and when you see these pictures, a lot of times they're not the best pictures of the home, or they may be very minimum pictures. So keep that in mind. So always continue to see if you can find additional information about these homes, or better yet, if you are in the market, it may be time to call up your real estate professional and see if you can view this home. Now, also keep in mind, with that also being said, it's going to be key to work with a real estate professional with these homes. And the reason being is because, one, you want to be able to have access to them. 2, there's a unique process. This is not the same as a traditional home purchase. And with that also being said, a lot of the process is electronic, and also there's special documents that need to be completed. So it's not the same documents that need to be completed. And also, in order to submit an offer, your real estate professional needs to be HUD approved and through this particular website. So there's a process that your real estate professional has to go through in order to even submit. You can't submit an offer on your own. So you do definitely need to be working with the real estate professional in order to submit an offer. And that offer is just, HUD registered bidder. You guys can see that right there. So that's where it's prime. Now, if you don't have a real estate professional and you are in the Tampa Bay area, you can always, contact me. You always check out realestatewithchrisbrown.com. Or there's another resource right here where they will list Find a Broker, and you can submit that information and find out who is a HUD registered bidder in that local area. One of the big things I always show people, and I think it's under addendums, no, property info, no, amenities. I guess we don't have it on this one. So typically there is a tab that allows you to get a property report. Under that property report, it gives you a little bit of detail of the condition of the home. It's not a finite or detailed inspection like you would have done for yourself, where you're paying a few $100 to have done for a home that you're buying. Hopefully you are getting an inspection. But traditionally there is that information is there, but it's not there for this particular property. So, actually, hold on, excuse me. It's under addendums, property condition report. There it is. We had to download it. So let's see here. So you guys should be able to see that. So this is a document right here. And what I mean by it not being as finite and as detailed, you don't have the pictures, you don't have the specific type of testing. And then also a lot of times with HUD homes, the utilities are not on. So when the utilities are not on, so that means that the water's not running, the electricity's not on. So they have other ways of testing the systems, like actually bringing in a generator and hooking it up to the property, or bringing in buckets of water and testing the P-traps on the sinks and the different structures throughout the home. So, but what's a good one? Like if it's something that's very noticeable, property condition, let's see here, roof in acceptable condition, it says yes. And then it gives you a little side note: inspected peaks, valley, ridge, lines, caps, chimney, soffits, da 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 da, pass with no deficiencies found. So this is a good start, but I would always get it inspected, because I've dealt with properties where it was fine when I first inspected the property, but over a period of time, like a month, excuse me, things change. The condition of the property changed, whether it be from the weather, whether it be from random people, or rodents, squirrels, raccoons, possums, anything. Because when a property is vacant for a while, nature recognizes that. Nature recognizes that, and that may be a new home for someone else. So keep that in mind. All right, so we'll go back to this. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I mean, this is a great website, like I said, to kind of research, find different properties that may be available. That was just one property that we took a look at. I don't want to spend everybody's time looking at multiple properties, but this is a great resource for you if you are considering the market at this time. It is something that is different than your traditional purchase. A lot of times the properties do need some type of work, and a lot of times it may just be cosmetic. Like the property we looked at, I mean, you may not like the multicolored walls, even though it kind of went well with what was going on, but it may not go with your furniture. So you may want to go in and paint it and so forth along those lines. And that's where it's really good to have that FHA 203K loan, or some type of rehab renovation loan that may finance those items that need to be completed, such as painting, like cosmetic stuff. So keep that in mind. But this is a resource. I always like to tell people about different resources that are out there. You know, if you guys found this information to be helpful, insightful, and find that, you know, someone else may find this information helpful, be sure to share the YouTube link with someone else. Be sure to like, subscribe. I'd love to give you guys some more information. If you are in the Tampa Bay area, and if you are thinking about buying, selling, or even investing, be sure to check out realestatewithchrisbrown.com. If you are social, feel free to follow me on social media. My handle is @ChrisBrown_RE_Pro. Once again, @ChrisBrown_RE_Pro. I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. Be sure to check me out. Love to chit chat with you guys if you do have questions. But be sure to reach out. Once again, this is Chris Brown, your real estate professional and a marketing entrepreneur. And thank you for attending another episode of State of the Real Estate Market with Chris Brown. Take care.